to Z&B Live Unfiltered.
Good morning, everybody.
Happy heckin' Wednesday, Mr. Bricks O'Brien. Good to see you.
A lot of rolling of the tongue to start off this Wednesday morning.
Dude. I gotta get this tongue ready for Brick World, man. There's gonna be a lot of rolling of the tongues at Brick World. I'm just teasing some of the shenanigans that are going to be happening at Brick World coming up.
Whatever you do in room 1335 is up to you and your wife, and not involving anybody else. I will be at the convention, enjoying myself, hanging out with the people, and living it up, man.
What?
I'm very excited. Under a month away.
Under a month away. It's coming up fast. I mean, that's the thing. It's the summer is going to fly by regardless. And it's stuff like Brick World popping up. It's stuff like the thing I just reminded you about during our 10-minute early pre-show for those of us that join us live here on YouTube. In that first 10 minutes of the broadcast that does not hit our audio podcast, you get a chance to kind of, vamp with us a little bit. And we not only have a travel show, a remote show going to Brick World this June, but we'll also have another remote show going to the Haunted Castle later this summer. So the summer is going to just... It looks like his soul just left his body when I mentioned this Haunted Castle. The summer's just going to fly by.
It's like I have an all-seeing eye watching over me as I make every decision I do. Actually, I shouldn't even make a segue kind of like that, because I don't even have context on anything pertaining to Lord of the Rings in any capacity at all. So I don't even know if that was accurate of me to say.
I gathered that much when you said that you Googled Lord of the Rings Count Dooku. Like, I kind of figured like that's where we were with your, fandom with Lord of the Rings. So, which I find interesting considering you continue to call one of the best Lego sets ever made overrated, and you have no context for it.
I never said it's bad. I just said it's overrated.
I didn't say bad. I said you called it overrated, but you have no context for that set.
The internet is all
Explain yourself.
The internet is about putting your outlandish opinions online without regard for what anybody else feels, because you are right and you need to have ownership of what you say because you want to feel important in your own headspace and invalidate how somebody else feels about something they love. That's the meat of it. That's it. And it's the ploy.
I always feel important in my own headspace.
I'm glad one of us does. You don't just put stuff out on the internet. You're like, this is how it should be. You don't do that. Am I the only chat? Am I the only?
Are you kidding? I'm one of the most opinionated people out there. Of course I do. I throw it all out there.
What's your hottest opinion? Not hot take opinion. What is it?
The one that gets the blood boiling the most, I feel like, especially in the last few years, is I think The Last Jedi is one of the best Star Wars movies ever made.
Now that's a hot take opinion. That is objectively incorrect. It's
also objectively correct. So
Nope.
I know I'm in the minority, but I'm also not alone. I'm not saying
I know you're not alone.
I'm not saying it's the best. I'm just saying it's not. It's in my top 3. It is in my top 3.
We got a couple people that agree in the live chat. They are also wrong, which is why they watch you live on Twitch. And this is what the show is about. It's about the differencing of opinions coming together for.
We lost half of the subscribers we had, just so you know.
That's fine. Let them.
The other half left when we said that you said that Lord of the Rings is the Lord of the Rings set is overrated. That's the other half. They're gone. I lost half with The Last Jedi. We might have 3 left at this point. I don't even know.
That's fine. All we need is like Matt Mellish, Astro, and AZ.
Oh no, Matt left with the Last Jedi.
True. Okay.
Matt Mellish and I literally have a date planned to debate. It's a debate date over The Last Jedi at Brickworld.
This is such.
Put that on the stage, folks.
We got spots open. There's plenty of.
We can respectfully disagree.
Then somebody else in RC says Princess Peach is overrated. Now you're just trying to grind my gears.
Right.
What's the deal with this Isaac? What are we doing?
Listen, we finally have one of the most anticipated, one of the most not overrated.
The Legend of Zelda Deku Tree from Breath of the Wild.
You'll have to wait, sir.
Okay.
You have to wait for that, sir. One set to rule them all, ladies and gentlemen. Barad-dûr. Barad-dûr. Say it with me, Brian. Barad-dûr.
Barad-dûr.
There it is. We were anxiously waiting for a follow-up to what I and a lot of other folks consider one of the best Lego sets that has come out in especially the last 10 years, which was Rivendell. And boy, howdy, man, they went hard. Lego went hard with the newly announced Barad-dûr set, the Sauron's castle there at the foot of Mount Doom, with the ever-watching eye looking down upon the entire landscape. Oh, baby. This set does things to my body, Brian.
I'm glad it does.
I know you have absolutely no context and whatever, but even somebody here, let me put this out there for the entire audience here. Even somebody like Brian, who has absolutely no context for this set, can look at this set from a structural standpoint, from a parts usage standpoint, overall display standpoint, and say it's impressive. I know he can. Now, will he? I don't know, Mr. Bricks O'Brien. Does this set do anything for you?
I like it as a more prominent structure, part of a collection. I felt the same way about the Tower of Orthanc, even though I, again, had no context on it. Rivendell is very coffee table-esque. This is like a tall shelf, kind of like literally what you did the other day. I saw you post. You're like, hey, here's the spot this is going to go. Literally right here. It's just a tall portion of your shelf. So it's very cool, and I love that there's the orange highlights to, not just make it a random black structure, right? Like Tower of Orthanc was definitely just, yep, there's a black monolith there. Okay, cool.
Right.
This is actually a little bit more interesting structural-wise. I am very glad they finally made a Sauron minifigure. About dang time. I don't know what took them so long. Like, Lord of the Rings has been a thing. Lego Lord of the Rings, for over 10 years. They had plenty of time to do it. They just never did it until now. So cool, they did it. You got a lot of really cool, unique orcs that go with it. So from a minifigure standpoint, especially if you're having this go right next to Rivendell, you have these two sets. Yeah, it's $1,000 US pretty much after tax and all that, or shipping. Very expensive, but man, are they very cool. And I think it very much complements each other. You have the light and the dark. So if you're having these two display pieces there, you're ready to go. And then I know the other one would have been Minas Tirith.
Minas Tirith. That's the one I'm kind of waiting. Now that we've gotten this idea that they're maybe not done with the property, that they're not done with this IP, that they're going to continue to maybe look at things. I mean, obviously, they could go back, they could redo Orthanc, and they might. That set kind of needs a revamp and a revisit, really. But Minas Tirith would be an incredibly detailed, amazing set.
Every time I've seen it, it's been conveyed more, I guess, true to life in micro scale. So would they do like a fuller scale version of that? Or would they go like architecture, try to make it, sub $200 and have a couple figures with it just to make it look cool?
I think if they did a micro scale, as much as I love micro scale sets, I think Minas Tirith as a micro scale could be almost overly detailed to the point where it was a bear to put together, right? You just think of all the cheese slope pieces and little studs and, you know, square studs and stuff like that you have to put on that thing to make it do what it needed to do and look like what it needed to look like. I think you can still, I mean, look what they did with Rivendell. Rivendell is a large area. It's not just like, you know, just a building, right? Rivendell is a large area, and they very strategically shrunk it down, but still gave it all of the glory it needed and really overloaded it with amazing figures and stuff to fill it out and beautiful, you know, trees and things like that. So even as somebody like me that loves micro scale builds, please God, don't do that with Minas Tirith. I think you need a you know, a larger Rivendell size set that you can almost in a modular style where you can remove sections from the top and you can see stuff. You can see the catacombs underneath, and you know, you get an opportunity to add in a bunch of new figures that you don't have yet. Like you could do some of that. I just think that the IP is not done, and I think that they have opportunities now because of this to continue that trend.
Yeah, but how are fans going to respond to another over $300 Lord of the Rings set? I feel like there has to be something on an entry level, and not only that, but like kids today, they don't care about Lord of the Rings.
These are 18 plus sets. These are 18 plus sets.
They're all 18 plus. So like, I feel like if they're coming out with a Lord of the Rings set, it's going to be an 18 plus, and then you know, as we saw with this gift with purchase here, right? And that's a whole other thing that we'll get into, as you can see in just a hot second over here. But like, they are willing to put a 18 plus Lord of the Ring whatever in a formal box. So what would it end up being? Are you going to do like the Unexpected Gathering? Are you going to do like the Hobbit Hole? Like what would you do? There has to be something under $100 for a Lord of the Rings fan. You want to make it accessible. Not everybody can fork out $460, $500 for something that symbolizes their fandom. So I feel like there has to be a response somewhere that Lego has to put out. I think Minas being $200 or $180, making it, you know, micro scale, I think that's the way you do it. But I mean, similar thing with like, not to bring it to there, but like a Peach's Castle, like literally. Like,
are you able to spin any conversation back to Peach's Castle? I'm just curious.
And I will.
That's fantastic.
So like anything in like a large, like there has to be a response, in my opinion, for somebody that can't access it otherwise. So you have your $400 version of a thing, literally like Simba. Let's use Simba instead as an example.
Sure.
Your $180, $200 whatever, and then your $20, $30 Disney set for the kids. So there's got to be something like that.
They didn't really bat an eye at it with Rivendell. I mean, yeah, we had Brickheads, but that was it. You know, with Rivendell. But if you don't like,
Brickheads are like Funko. If you don't like them, you don't like them.
Well, but my point is that they didn't when they did Rivendell. They said no. This is a set for 18 plus. That's who it's geared towards. It's for people that will save up their money. Rivendell was a set that crossed barriers beyond people that just collect Lego. It was a set people got out. We saw it all over Twitch. People that just play video games were buying Rivendell because they were Lord of the Rings fans, and that was the one Lego set that they had in their home, right? This could be another one of those, and if you did a Minas Tirith, that could be another one of those as well. So I don't think, yes, would it behoove Lego to make smaller play Harry Potter style sets? Yes. For you know, that had that same IP? Absolutely. We had that with The Hobbit years ago, right? Like we've had play sets that they've put out. Expand on that, start releasing some of those, but like a lot of their other, you know, IPs that they have, having the big tentpole flagship 18 plus set that is massive, that's expensive, that goes right along with their MO. That's how they run. That's how they work things. And so I completely agree with you. I think we need some play sets and, you know, intermixed in there, but don't give me a micro scale Minas Tirith. I think you're just, there's so many other models and stuff out there of that already in that size and that scale that you can go out and buy. Give me something I can build and enjoy and make it big and bold and powerful.
It's tough for me to speak on because I don't know the property, but I recognize this idea of what Matt Malish is recommending. Gandalf versus the Balrog. I feel like you could do. I've seen the Balrog built in Lego Dimensions. It looks like it'd be under $100. So maybe that instead.
There's tons of playset opportunities, and across all the different IPs. You can go back to The Hobbit if you wanted to. You can do Lord of the Rings. We now have Rings of Power. Is coming up in its second season in August. Like, you have Lord of the Rings is now spanning. It's coming back. Like it's back on people's. In people's minds because of the Amazon Prime show and things like it's there. So take advantage of it and start making some places. I would love that. I would love to. I know, like, even my son, as an example, 12 years old, has read all of the books, all of The Hobbit. He read all 3 of the Lord of the Rings, loved them. Right. And he sees sets like this and he loves it, but he knows it's kind of out of his skill set to build. Right. Yep. So give him some play sets that he could.
Actually, he knows Dad is going to build it live on his show whenever he gets a chance to. That's why
we're already fighting over the Lion Knight's castle because he really wants to put that one together. And I'm like,
Zach, you have so much in the backlog. Let your son cook. Let your son cook. He swamped through the cave.
How dare he try to build his Lego sets, man? How dare he? But this set is absolutely incredible. 5,471 pieces. It is taller than a Disney castle, but not as tall as the Avengers Tower, right? But it has about the same type of footprint as the Disney castle, where the footprint of the Avengers Tower is smaller. So it's kind of like this little hybrid between an Avengers Tower and a Disney in the current Disney castle. So I think it's a nice hybrid for people there. 10, as you pointed out, 10 minifigs that look phenomenal. The Frodo and the Samwise are the same ones that are in Rivendell. Not a big deal. However, we get an amazing Gollum. We get an amazing Gollum. We get the Mouth of Sauron, which I think I'm the most excited about. And then, of course, finally we get a Sauron fig. And the orcs themselves are nothing to, turn an eye to, because they have they've got amazing features, amazing prints. Their accessories are great. The shields, the swords, they all look fantastic. It's not as massive of a minifig haul as what we got in Rivendell, but it's a solid minifig haul. And I do really, really like that. So day one purchase for me, absolutely. I cannot wait to get my hands on this set and see what they have. They're using a light brick for the eye. The eye is on a bar, so it will spin. So depending on what way you want to display it, which I thought was a really smart idea, the eye can spin around so you don't just see a black bar up there. And they even added, the one thing they did change with Frodo and Sam was they added their orc helmets that they steal, and they're trying to sneak their way up to Mount Doom. So you do get different accessories for your Sam and Frodo, but it is still the same face and body prints and stuff like that. Anyway, amazing set. Cannot wait to build this. Gosh, Lego, just take my money. You're killing me on June 1st, folks. They're killing me on June 1st.
This is June 1st?
This is June 1st.
Man, they are just flying, dude. Two weeks to prep for a purchase you didn't know you were gonna. That's crazy.
450. That was the thing. They hit you with so many other things on June 1st already, and then we knew about the 18 plus Simba. We knew about it. Hadn't hit the website until this very morning, right? They made that available for pre-order. So but you kind of didn't really know the price either, right? So now all of a sudden, you have all these other things that you were planning on for June 1st, plus pre-orders for things coming out in August. And then they drop this on you. Here's $450 more that you got to figure out. On top of the middle of May stuff that they just dropped today with the Artemis and the Milky Way. It's getting out of hand to the point where, we made comments in our show a couple weeks ago when all the August stuff released or was dropped. Well, what about June and July? Well, Lego said, here, hold my beverage. we've got June covered. Now we're at the point, I don't even want to think about July. Don't tell me anything in July. Keep your mouth shut, Lego. Wallets cannot handle it. Shut it. Don't talk about July. I don't want to hear about it because we have a big August coming up, right? So let's just pretend July doesn't exist and we're just gonna skip on past it. It's gonna be rough. One of the things that they're doing though for June 1st to entice people to snag this set early. Now there's gonna be people that have to wait, but you know, for financial purposes and things. I know for one, I'm gonna be cashing in. I'm finally cashing in all of my insider points. That's what I'm using to get this. I feel like it was fated. I've been waiting to use my points on something. This is what it's going to be. And the reason I'm going to do that so soon and so early on June 1st is because they have attached a very cool, in my opinion, gift with purchase set. Now, a lot of people are not about, like whatever on this gift with purchase. Once again, I go back to, and you've heard me preach this ad nauseum, Lego did not have to do this at all. There were still going to be people that were going to buy this set, regardless if they had a gift with purchase attached to it or not. Okay. Rivendell attached brickheads that were already available for purchase and had been available for purchase before those brickheads before that set had ever come out. They're actually giving you something that you can't buy in the store, right? This is just the cherry on top for people. They don't have to do this, folks. So you complaining about free stuff boils my blood. Stop it. Stop complaining about free stuff. Okay? It's free. They don't have to do any of this. Knock it off. All right? That being said, this set is cool. Has a minifig to go with it. Has a cool little dragon build that you can add to it. Imagine, sticking this onto the actual set somewhere up to the top, right? Amazing. I love this. I love that they're doing this.
Can you give me a 15-second summary of what this thing is?
The Fell Beast is basically a dragon that the Nazgul ride as they chase the ring across Middle Earth.
So this is like an iconic character.
Very much.
Kind of.
Very much.
Okay.
Very much. And it's a simplistic version of a dragon. Like it's a very simple, but it's a free gift with purchase.
I am livid. The reason why is because you had something come out fairly recently that was by far the most anticipated set of 2023 and more anticipated than this thing is, right? Came out last year. Both of us have it. And the gift with purchase that came with it was a cobbled together piece of garbo where this one has a properly fitting 18 plus icons box with the proper lighting and the whatever. It is so inexcusable why Lego did not go all out for the Avengers Tower and that dumb taxi. And this has this wicked cool gift with purchase, all properly done up as if it were available on shelves. And if this is going to stay as a gift with purchase, there's no reason for it to be inside of a fancy box like this. So why not just put it in the hobcobble packaging a little bit better? It is such... Oh, but it's free. I don't care.
It's free.
I want it. That Black Panther taxi the taxi design was awful. You didn't need to include Black Panther in there when we just had an entire wave of Black Panther 2, actually different character. No, there was a Black Panther in like a $10 set that wasn't related to the movie. So you got a Black Panther for literally $10, accessible on store shelves at the same time. You got more of those aliens, which were not a part of the Avengers Tower. None of it made any sense. So what is Lego logic being, hey, this gets a proper release with all the bells and whistles in a less expensive, less anticipated set of a intellectual property that isn't popping off right now and not giving due justice to the tower that is unbelievably cool and more relevant as of right now.
They're learning, right? They're
a multi-billion-dollar company. Learn. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Hey.
Learn.
Even a multi-billion-dollar company
These people got all the money in the universe, Zach. They got more money year over year after the pandemic, along with all these other companies losing money because they can't keep the ship afloat. Lego can keep the ship afloat. Just they have the most talented designers in the multiverse, people that this is their full-time job to let the creative juices ooze out of them like I sweat, like salt and like bitterness out of my skin. Why can't that energy be allocated into a proper gift of purchase for the Avengers Tower?
The fact that they are a multi-billion-dollar company and they can still learn is a testament to what they're doing over there. Now, I am a harsh judge of a lot of the decisions they make. I am a very harsh judge with a lot of the decisions they make. But they took the bad flack that they got for those brickheads on the Rivendell set. They looked at the bad flack they got from the gift of purchase for the Avengers Tower, and they gave us this. And you know what, Mr. O'Brien? People are still complaining. They can't win. They can't win.
What's a gift of purchase that's come out that people really like, objectively?
The one that people were kind of excited about was that Mimic with the Dungeons and Dragons. But a lot of people were just like, well, you could build that with minus the eyes, but the eyes were a big part of it, right? But guess what they did? They sold out of it before the general public got a hold of it. And I think that this particular one, as much as people are complaining about it, I think this gift with purchase is going to push that tower out of reach for people beyond those opening insider days. This gift with purchase is gone before it hits the general public on June 4th.
I agree.
I think it's gone. So if you want this, like the Mimic, you got to get it day one. It's a day one deal. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to be at your Lego store. You got to be at lego.com that night, whatever. You got to get this set day one. If you want this and you don't want to spend ridiculous money for it afterwards on Bricklink or somewhere else, you got to be there day one because it's going to be gone before the general public gets a hold of it on June 4th.
There was no reason why they couldn't put that Mimic in an actual box and put it on store shelves.
100%. I don't understand the boxes. I still don't. I don't get it. I don't know why they do it, why they choose to do it versus not choose to do it or anything like that. I still stand by these are free sets. What would you be more upset about? Absolutely nothing? Like if they had,
I get nothing with my Mario purchase. I don't complain.
But that's my point. But that's my point. If they had given you absolutely nothing with your Avengers Tower, the free thing that they gave you.
Well, I also don't complain. I don't complain about the gift of purchase. No matter
but people that are complaining, would you have complained if you had just gotten nothing?
Who's a complainer that we can ask? I don't know.
We're on the internet. Everybody's a complainer.
True, actually. Yeah. If anyone wants to volunteer themselves for being angry about everything besides us, let me know.
There are plenty of sets that Lego does release without any kind of gift with purchase. You just said so yourself. A lot of the Mario sets and other things, and larger tentpole, sets. The gift with purchase there is a enticement to get you to buy it early. And it's a thank you. It really, really is. It's a free little, hey, thank you for being a loyal fan. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for whatever. That's the way you should look at it. To complain about this stuff is just mind-boggling. I don't get it. Now, one thing that Lego did do just this week was they kind of shadow dropped this other gift with purchase. You didn't really know this thing was even going to happen, but they have a new space diner gift with purchase currently available on the website if you spend $100 or more, and on the site. And once again, more space. Astro's like space everywhere. You get amazing little space figs, a great little orange one. Kind of just shadow dropped it out there. I didn't expect it, but by God, it's made me want to figure out how to spend $100 extra right now because I want this gift with purchase. It's basically like spending $100 for a minifig. I'm a mess.
Yeah, you are.
But it is currently available, and rightly timed. It goes to the end of the month. But let's say you want to grab one of the Artemis that just came out on the 15th, or you want to grab, the Milky Way that just came out on the 15th. Well, boom, there you go. Now you're still even in the same genre, right? You're space with a space gift with purchase. And this space diner is adorable. This is an adorable gift with purchase. And if you're kind of in the market, they've been a lot of stuff that's been dropped here in May. So if you're in the market, if you haven't bought anything and you want to go ahead and grab something before the end of the month, spend your $100 if you can, cash in some insider points, spend your $100 and get a hold of this Space Diner set because it is absolutely adorable. And I honestly wish I had multiple $100 so I could buy multiple of $100 sets and get multiples of these Space Diner gift with purchases because I think they are fantastic. You know what else is fantastic, Mr. O'Brien?
I don't know because I don't care about either of these things.
I know you don't. The new retro radio. I'm so excited about this freaking radio, dude. I can't even tell you how excited I am about this radio. I can't express. I know he's already asleep about this radio. He's already snoring about this radio. I think this radio is fantastic. I love the color. I love the design. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, they brought back he's literally sleeping. They brought back the sound brick. So the sound brick is not a one and done with the Harry Potter sorting hat. This sound brick is going to be used and utilized in more sets going forward. And I am there for it. I love that the knob itself can, change the channel and, press the sound brick button and keep the different sounds going. I love that they added a compartment for your phone so you can play your music from your phone inside the set. I love everything about this set. I think it is absolutely incredible. You can literally pick it up by the handle. I did notice some flex in the handle a little bit, so I'm curious to really get my hands on it and see just how sturdy that handle really does end up feeling. But I love these ideas. I love these idea sets. I love when they take sets like this and make something retro that touches this old man's heart. Brian.
You know what I really think of with the radio specifically? Like, I am a fan of the things I'm a fan of. Right? Especially when it comes to Lego form. You give me a Mario, a Legend of Zelda, a Fortnite, a Sonic, a whatever. I'm in because it's cool. It combines Lego with the thing that I already enjoy. Match made in heaven. Awesome. This is an objectively cool set where you have something that is nostalgic, a brick that goes with it that makes sounds and all different whatever. And you can see the benefits of it, Zach, because you're a fan of the Lego brand, of like what Lego is doing to push the envelope in that. I just want Lego to make the stuff I want. The other stuff, it looks cool. It's great. Cool. I've been there, done that, whatever. You are a Lego brand fan. I'm a fan of the things I love in Lego. And I think that's what makes the show like very unique. And I think this is the literal perfect example of it. Because I do not care. There is not a single sliver within me that cares at all about the set, the revolutionary nature of it, the sound brick. Oh, it's playing everyone is cool. I'm good. I'm all set. That's it. Back to bed I go.
Well, so, I get what you're saying, and you're right. People are fans of the particular sets that speak to them. I enjoy the Lego brand when they surprise me, right? There's only so many iterations of a playable Peach's Castle that I can handle,
Okay.
There's only so many playable Mario sets that I can handle, right?
Okay. The Mario is different because it's an interactive figure that has multiple components to it, not just sound. So that, A. But B, when the piano did it, Like that would have been a perfect opportunity to do something like this, where you have some of the keys be playable and then it plays a sound. That would have been super dope. Like, so not that I want a re-release of the piano, but like if they were saying, oh, we're gonna wait on the piano or expedite the sound brick for something like that, that would have been very cool. So instead they have like the functionality with the phone, which now that I think about it, like why couldn't they just have a section within the Lego app where you had the radio sounds as you're building it, like the digital instructions? Like that was a benefit. You could have had all the sounds in there instead of including the sound brick. I mean, it's cool they did the sound brick, but like, sure, why bother doing that if your phone is already in there and it plays media?
Well, it's a combo, the thing, right? Like the idea is, and I'm going to point this out in our chat here. If I wanted a radio, I'd buy a radio. I've heard this argument before. From other folks where, well, if I wanted an Atari, I buy an Atari. Well, if I wanted a Nintendo, I buy a Nintendo. But the Nintendo is celebrated as one of the best Lego sets ever made. So
the NES is tough and the Atari is tough too, because not only, yes, you can buy an NES for like, you know, less than the price of the cost of the set, but like, sure, you're going to buy that CRT and hook it up and have it on a stand and have it in your background and play. Like, where are you going to put the CRT? No, tell me where. Like, you're gonna take down some Lego sets and put you're not. So go to the Lego store, buy it, build it, and that crank functionality where everything comes together, that magical moment is worth it. In a similar way with the Atari and having everything on different display lengths. So I don't see that argument as much with those two. With this, a little bit more so. I kind of get it because like, oh, I'm gonna plug in my phone and play the radio. It's
like the typewriter for me. The typewriter was a great, like, I could go to a pawn shop, I could go to a Goodwill, probably find the typewriter, right? An old typewriter like that. But it's the process of building it and seeing it working. And I still get a jolt out of people, that friends, family, colleagues that come over and see these sets and think they're real and watch their minds be blown when they realize it's actually building blocks. It's pieces of plastic.
You bring them to your 1-bedroom apartment in Soho. As you are going down to
and that's where the phone thing.
You trade your ETFs and try to capitalize on some other NFT nonsense before GME gets pumped again, which it currently is. So have fun, baby.
That's where the phone thing comes in. It's that quick access to be, oh, look, it actually turns on though. Like it actually, where you don't have to put your phone behind it and whatever, and it's playing Taylor Swift. No, it like plays, 50s style, 60s style, 80s style, sound behind it, right? I love that. I think that's phenomenal. And I'll give you a prime. I actually have a radio just like this. I recently just bought it so we could go to the drive-in. Yes, I'm that nostalgic. I'm that retro. I wanted to go to the drive-in. And I wanted, it's harder now as our family, my son gets bigger and taller. He can't just sit in the back and watch the
in the back seat.
Yeah, he can't just sit in the back seat and watch the thing. So we're gonna throw the kid outside and watch. But so I handed him a dial radio, and watching his mind try to figure out how to work that thing was fascinating. And I like this. I like that stuff like this can come out as a toy. It's still technically a toy. It's a toy company. And maybe it can inspire the younger generation to say, well, what is that actually based? Like, I want to see that really work. Like, what's a real one look like? Whatever. And you get, but it's not just I go out and buy a radio or I buy this. It's go get both. So you can show a younger generation that this was working technology, that this actually exists. Probably next year, we're going to get a rotary phone from Lego. I don't know, but doesn't take away my joy of what this set does, what the set looks like. And again, it's just pushing the envelope a little bit more with the idea of how to utilize this sound brick and where it can go down the line.
I appreciate how open-minded you are. I'm glad. You're such a. This is the thing. I've been around the Lego, not just like Lego YouTube and whatever, but like the Lego realm for like so much longer than you. So seeing like you get bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about all these new things, I'm like, man, this is like a proud father looking at like, oh, he's excited about a sound brick. Oh my goodness. Oh my. And I'm over here like, I've been there, done that, kid. You know. Let's talk about dinosaurs because they haven't done that before.
Yeah, another new one. Listen, the Jurassic Park, the Jurassic World IP is another big seller. It's dinosaurs, baby.
It is.
It's a huge kids love dinosaurs. And these are some of the most overpriced sets on the planet. I mean, I would almost put them up there as more overpriced than the Mario sets, but they are I don't know. It's pretty interesting. But it does not stop kids from going into those Lego stores and jumping up and down when they see new dinosaur models and molds and play sets and all this amazing stuff that they get out of that Jurassic Park and Jurassic World IP. And for me, we got a lot of new play sets, new dinosaur molds that are coming out later this summer. For me, the big catcher was the Ankylosaurus, the Bumpy from Camp Cretaceous, from the Netflix animated show, which I love. And if there are Jurassic Park fans that haven't given Camp Cretaceous, even because it's an animated show, an opportunity on Netflix, go watch it today. Finish watching this show first, then go watch it with the rest of your day, please and thank you. You're gonna love it. It's a fantastic animated show. The Bumpy, I'm super excited about. He's one of the crowd favorites. And but this doesn't take away from any of the play sets that they're coming out with as well. The interesting take on all of this Jurassic World stuff that they're coming out with this summer is they are releasing it in the UK, the EU, and Australia on June 1st. But the US is not getting this stuff until August 1st. And I don't know why, other than, obviously we're already overloaded with June 1st sets, but I kept looking at it going, this is all happening June 1st, this is June 1st, this is June 1st, but it's not. And is there a precedence there for Lego to separate this by 2 months in regions?
I think they've done something similar. It might just be it's assembled in one factory over another, and compiling it is more of a challenge for whatever reason. I don't know. Like, I don't really necessarily see a reason why. Maybe there's something Jurassic coming out closer to August that they want to have it coincide with that we don't know about yet. Maybe a special, like, who knows? I don't know. But I mean, I'm not overly concerned about it happening more in the future. It's just one of those weird quirky things that happens, and maybe it releasing closer technically to Christmas time keeps it more relevant at the top of mind for kids, especially, September is really when you get the advent calendars and the early shoppers. So maybe for whatever reason, something like that.
That actually brings up another good point. They haven't done a Jurassic World advent calendar, have they?
No, because all it would be is like micro dinosaurs and minifigures. There's no what dinosaurs are you going to include unless it's going to be like they do with like action figures. You put different parts of a dinosaur in each of the different compartments and it makes a big dinosaur. And at that rate, why not just buy a big dinosaur?
I mean, it's all about micro builds and stuff, right? It's just
like what are you gonna do? Like, I feel like the micro build dinosaurs are not as effective for what they want to convey. Whenever I've been in the Lego store, like, kids love dinosaurs, and anything molded animal, like brick built, it loses some of that charm because you just can't get the curvatures right. But just having, it's kind of contradictory to Lego itself having like one big molded piece. But I think for a dinosaur, it works really well, and there's so many different species you can do. So doing like, the mini raptors and stuff, you can only do so many of those, and then it kind of is whatever, especially when the other advent calendars are very minifigure focused. So you could maybe do one off of Camp Cretaceous with the original characters, but that's only for 1 year. Advent calendars go when they're established, like, the Harry Potter ones, and they just go through the end of time.
I mean, that's, to be fair though, you could do the Camp Cretaceous, the Jurassic World, and the Jurassic Park characters year in and year out. I mean, we see the same I mean, how many times are we going to get Darth Vader in an advent calendar? How many times are we going to get, Luke
Yeah, but then
Skywalker?
he has an exclusive print on
But
the
you could
ugly
still do
torso.
that with these characters. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like the characters still exist. You could still do.
Yeah, but the Star Wars characters are way more iconic than
I'm not.
Owen Great, whatever his name is.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I think you're right. I think the dinosaurs would be where it would be at, and it's how can you make miniature prints or micro builds of dinosaurs or whatever. Speaking to the large molded dinosaurs that kids go gaga over. These new sets coming out June 1st, August 1st. We're gonna get two new ones. We're gonna get the Stegosaurus and the Allosaurus. And once again, you're just adding to that large library of molded dinosaur, pieces and characters. Please. Yeah, and that's what kids are gonna be going crazy over. And kids watch Camp Cretaceous. They have the next Chaos Theory is the sequel series to that animated series where the kids have gotten a little bit older. It's like 5 years or something have passed since the end of the Camp Cretaceous show, and the kids are older and they're going on more adventures. If you follow the Jurassic World movies, you realize, the dinosaurs are now roaming the mainland and are a part of our culture and our society, and we have to just live in harmony with them. And that's it. That's what the Chaos Theory show is going to be about, is them having to deal with that stuff, 5 years later. Obviously the big one for people my age and even people younger is going to be the buildable Bumpy. That's a fun set. It's adorable. It's it's cute, just like Bumpy was in the cartoon. So I'm very, very excited about that. Is it a day one on August 1st for me? Absolutely not. Is it a day 30, 60, 90? I don't know. It's a day when it's on Costco shelves at a 50% discount probably for me. But how many kids are you going to see at the Lego store later this summer, at the end of the summer, going crazy over these new dinosaur sets? Tons, absolutely tons of kids. But this actually, all of these, we've talked about all of these different sets, right? And all of these different IPs, and it's fascinating to me just how many different themes that Lego is putting out, not just in their overall library of sets, but monthly, like literally monthly. And it can be a good thing where they're providing variety. You're getting friend sets, you're getting city sets, you're still, you're getting Ninjago, you're still getting some of those staple, dreams now, right? You're still getting some of those staple Lego, properties, right? But you also have a ton of different IPs that Lego is in cahoots with. You have Harry Potter. You have a ton of Harry Potter sets coming out on June 1st. Things like the Mandrake and things like that I'm really excited about, right? But you also have the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, IPs. You have, Star Wars obviously is out there. Marvel is out there. And you start looking at the release list, and people like me who love Lego as a brand, as you pointed out, and not necessarily a specific IP, we can get overwhelmed really quickly.
Overwhelmed. If you're not overwhelmed, I don't know what you're doing. Like you have every right to be overwhelmed.
So it got me noodling a little bit, right? Is if budget concerns or whatever, let's just say, a little magical Lego elf showed up and said, you can have any current Lego IP, every release from any current Lego theme out there, right? But you can only have one. What would that one be for Mr. Bricks O'Brien? What would you spend your money on?
This is a very obvious answer, obviously. With everything they're releasing, down the line, there could be an argument made probably for like Lego gaming. You could kind of bundle that as one.
He's doing a get out of jail free card because he doesn't just want to say Mario. Look at him. Look at him. And that's not, if you have to go down the list of themes, I'm going to call you out on it. There's a list of themes on Lego.com.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. If we're going by that, then yeah, it's obviously Mario. It has to correlate.
It's going to go Mario. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's the thing I enjoy the most. I've loved everything Nintendo since before I ever enjoyed everything Lego. The characters are very bright, vibrant, colorful, and add to a world that exists beyond anything else. And it has its own movie and like video games and a theme park and a what like there's so many different ways to enjoy Nintendo stuff, and it most resonates with me. So I mean, easily Mario.
Which is honestly, and I know we see your background, we see Mario, we see who you are, and what you're all about. But considering what you've gotten out of the Mario theme lately, that's what you're willing to hang your hat on?
Yes.
Boo's Castle for the second time, and
so I'm not as caught up. I'm not as caught up that there aren't minifigures. Like, I would really enjoy that. I think that is a smart financial decision for Lego to do that. But as somebody who has lived through the Wii and the Wii U, which were two pieces of console tech that they put out, and they said, hey, this is going to be wacky for the sake of it, and you're going to like it. Otherwise, you're not going to like it. The Wii was unbelievably successful, crossing over, and something you talk about a lot, crossing over into not just the core gaming people, but me, Ma Debbie, going in and like liking the Nintendo Wii and enjoying it. Whereas the Wii U had the gamepad, and people thought that sucked and it really underperformed and it didn't match up to anything. So I'm used to the quirky ideas that Nintendo brings to the table. And the reality of it is, like, if you want to do something cool and unique, you have to think outside of the box of what is generally accepted in any respect in life. And Nintendo kind of symbolizes that for me. It doesn't always pay off, but when it does, with the Nintendo Switch being, I literally have it right here, a hybrid console where, as opposed to the PlayStation 5, you can't take the controllers off and share it with somebody. That concept is so unique and so cool that it paid off for them, and they've made more money in the past 4 years than they have in the entire time they've been a company. So I'm willing to take the weird and wacky gamble of whatever's going to come next to get something I over the moon enjoy long term, as opposed to other Lego themes. Using Star Wars as the example, I don't need a 5th Millennium Falcon in any scale. I don't need a 10th X-Wing in any scale. Been there, done that. I've seen it. This movie is 50 years old. Give me something fresh, new, and exciting.
If you had to guess, what would you think? Because we all knew Brian was going to say Mario. We all knew it. You didn't surprise us. I just wanted you to play devil's advocate with yourself. But I'm curious what people out there think I would go for, considering I'm the Lego fanboy, right?
I would say Lego Disney.
Really? Wow.
I know nobody else that has willingly had each of the Cinderella castles to build at the same time. This man's going on vacation to Disney at the end of May. This man is excited about both of the Simbas and the Stitch and the camera and the train and the literally, if there was anything, it would absolutely be Disney. And like I would feel in a similar way to the joy that it brings me, Nintendo for me is Disney for you, that sense of whimsy that you can only get from like something that could come like original, like Little Mermaid, Lion King, like the camera, like Dumbo, Bambi, whatever, any of that stuff. I think that would hit a stronger note as opposed to Star Wars. But you do dabble a lot in like Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, I feel like are your top 3. And I mean, maybe I'm projecting a little bit going with the most wacky of the bunch being Disney, but I would peg you for a Disney guy over those two.
I'm curious because our chat's also saying Disney. I'm actually surprised nobody said Star Wars. I'm shocked. I really, really am, considering how much Star Wars I actually do build on my Twitch channel.
You weren't up in arms about like I feel like to be a Star Wars fan, you have to have a little more, I don't know, like a higher expectation in a weird way for like what they come out with. Like, yeah, you're a little bit in a tizzy about the TIE Interceptor and not being released next year or whatever, but like there's so many other things, like maybe the repetitiveness of Star Wars, it's just kind of, I don't know, not redundant, but like What has there been a Lego set recently, a Lego Star Wars set recently, you've been like excited about the premise of before it was out?
That's a tough call.
So, because when I think about like Simba, a larger scale Simba, I can see you being excited. Like, oh, that's sick. Yeah, I want that. But Star Wars, what could be forthcoming? You're like, yeah. Other than like, oh, yeah, they should have done that a while ago.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I get excited about the Star Wars. I mean, I was excited about the Interceptor, and I was excited when I built it. But I've got obviously issues with it. By the way, you are all 100% wrong. Just so you guys know, it's actually the icons. The icons line. Wow. The icons line for me is the most diverse line that Lego has to offer, and I think gives the most variety for somebody like me that enjoys the brand, as you put it, more than an actual specific IP. I get a jolt when I build those icon sets and I see how they're utilizing things and what they're doing to put it to. I mean, my God, I built 3 of the Back to the Future cars at once. The Ecto 1 car is spectacular. I've just gushed over that freaking radio for 5 minutes. It's those icon sets are absolutely incredible. Optimus Prime, my God, please. Amazing.
It's almost cheating because there's so many different IP bundled into it.
It's a theme in the list.
I get it. Yeah, but also isn't there a Back to the Future theme on here? Or there was before.
There's not
anymore. They got rid of Ghostbusters too, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Those. They're gonna lump Indiana Jones next because they were like, oh. Wait, kids don't want Indiana Jones? It's only 40-year-old guys? Oh, let's
Disney's the tough one, right? Because Disney technically encompasses all of that. Disney is Indiana Jones, Star Wars, and Marvel.
I agree with the live audience. So you seem happiest building Disney original stuff. Disney Castle, what probably will be Simba. Have you built the Snow White house yet?
No, not yet. It's sitting over there.
The Up House, Stitch, the camera you said was like one of your favorites of all time.
It is. It is. It's hard to walk away from Disney. It really is. But if I had to pick just one, I think overall down the road, I think I'm going to get more variety. I'm looking at it strategically, not just from a passion standpoint. I think overall down the road, I'm going to get more variety out of an Icons theme than I am a Disney theme.
Yeah, but like half that stuff isn't cool to me. I'd take.
Well, that's fine because half the Mario stuff isn't cool to me either. That's what's beautiful about all the lines and themes that they have.
In the wonderful assortment within the Lego brand portfolio of products, everyone throughout the customer and fan base can be satisfied by the offerings of the Lego Group Limited.
Nailed it. It's like you just walked into the Lego store and Brian had to robotically, deliver that message. Is there a hand up your
for today? Make sure that you pick up the set off the shelf and put it in the person's hands so you can get a 10 out of 10 on that NPS survey so your regional manager doesn't scold you for not greeting every single guest, even though nobody wants to be bothered as soon as they walk into a store. Make sure you tell them about all the gifted purchases, hand them a magazine, a catalog, sign them up for the VIP program, greet them, and have them exit out the store in a friendly and timely manner. Make sure your smock is all nice and clean, and make sure you don't overspend on your discount because then you're gonna get never mind.
Nailed it. I would rather build these icon sets than I would build a Deku tree. Just saying. I have a feeling that dang tree is going to be one of the most overrated Lego sets of all time.
Good.
I said what I said. I said what I said. You wait and see. Coming September, folks.
You know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for you to use this show as the guys to get the application into the Lego Ambassador Network, and then you can give me all the Mario and all the garbage you don't want, and you can take all the garbage I don't want. It's going to be awesome. It's gonna be great.
They don't want me.
Yes.
They don't want me. I'm not.
Yes, they want you.
I'm not cool enough. I am not.
Twitch.
Listen, there are cool people in the land like Matt Mellish, and I am nowhere near.
Pro gamer tip, everybody. If you look up Lego on Twitch, go ahead. That's why. This is why this exists right here. Okay, you know what pops up when you look up Lego on Twitch, right, Zach?
Here's word of advice, chat. Don't look up Lego on Twitch.
Or do. It's up to you.
It'll screw up your entire algorithm, and you're going to be getting stuff you don't want to be getting. Speaking of Twitch, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, Bob for partner, everybody. You got some big stuff coming up, especially at the end of the month. Please explain what we've got. 30 seconds.
There is a whole bunch of giveaways happening, including the Lego R2-D2, which is being given away on May 29th by you just being in the channel and earning your Bob Bucks. Redeem them for tickets, so that way you can enter to win the giveaway. I'll be playing Marbles on stream tonight, which is Wednesday, the 15th. But then Paper Mario The 1,000-Year Door comes out next week, and I'll be doing a massive launch event all week long. Make sure you're there to earn your points, but more importantly, just be there. Kick back, relax, and
enjoy the ride.
Because I hope to have you there, and I'll ideally never let you go.
No, we don't have those commands here. Yeah, make sure you get on over there. Just be there. Just be here every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time as well over on YouTube. And Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcast. Hit that like button, hit that bell notification icon, subscribe here, do all the YouTube-y things, but make sure you're over at Mr. Bricks O'Brien's channel for all the fun. I will be over there on the 29th. Even if I'm writing Small World, I'm going to be there on the phone to give away that R2-D2 set, and I cannot wait. Mr. Bricks O'Brien, thank you so much. Thank you so much to our chat, everybody here on YouTube. We appreciate you. Until next Wednesday, everybody. Bye.